Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 963. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody?
All right, so you guys heard us talking about our problems with Marvel Comics, what we feel they're doing wrong. Me especially, with this whole every hero is a female type of thing and getting rid of our original heroes. Well, now we have stuff to back up our words. So I'm going to have Chris, relay the message. So here we go, Chris. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean, this was part of an interview with David Gabriel. And basically, there's a lot of Marvel comics that are being canceled. And there's going to be probably a lot more cancellations in the comic book world from Marvel in the near future. And mainly and I'm paraphrasing here, if you want to read the whole thing, go to bleedingcool.com. But basically, the interviewer asked him, what was it that he thinks that caused a lot of these, a lot of fans to kind of back away from these new books and these new characters. And he basically says that he thinks the tastes of the audience have changed, and also he says that he thinks it was a lot of the changes to the characters. And he mentions that it was our new female characters. Anything that was not a core Marvel character, people were turning their nose up against. That's a direct quote from that. And then he mentions a couple of particular books. It says it was the old things coming back in that time period. 3 books in particular: Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, the Venom book, and the Thanos book, which apparently all had old, original characters and whatnot. Those books worked, whereas the other ones that were, had these quote-unquote diverse characters were starting not to work. So it's telling that...
Yeah.
God?
No, again.
No, I was going to say, it's telling that some of these new characters, they tried to change them, and it was like, no. The fans said, no, you're changing it, we're not reading.
The Ms. Marvel was successful because it was this woman wrote the book, and her idea was there would be the first ever female Muslim character, which did phenomenal, okay? But instead of it just stopping there, I guess they gave her and a few other, they made her have a position in Marvel of having a lot of say. And then they decided, well, let's get more female writers with more female characters to have say. But the problem happened was, instead of just having a few books, and interacting with the Marvel Universe, the Marvel Universe got taken over completely by these female characters, female versions of Thor, female versions of Iron Man. Everything was female, female, female. And it's almost as if maybe they weren't really trying to do it intentionally, but it was like they're trying to take over the universe. And like I said plenty of times, and I'm not sexist, and I'm not, I like female Ghostbusters, and I'm all for different things, but I'm allowed to not like things. And I didn't think rapid change at the same time would work.
Right.
You can't replace every hero at the same time and expect people to go along with it. I said it was not going to work. It was going to fall apart. Stuff was going to get canceled. I predicted that. And we even went on the top 100, right, Chris? And I said, This book's getting canceled. This book's getting canceled. So now I'm going to say it. You know what? I was right. And Chris was right. We were both right. Because you know what? We know what we're talking about. And you can't do that. You can't, they tried to force the Inhumans down everybody's throats, right? And screw the X-Men. And people are like, no, we like the X-Men. So what do now? They listen. They listen. Now all the X-Men books are going to be restored to a golden age. And the Inhumans, I think they're calling them Royals now or something. They're not going to be the main thing anymore. Because people didn't want that. People want Peter Parker with Mary Jane. And that's what happens in that universe. He's with Mary Jane. He has a kid. They don't want like what's happening in the comic now. They don't want him to be a billionaire. They want him in New York. Captain America, Hydra, they don't want that. Thor being unworthy, they don't want that. She-Thor, they don't want that. A Hulk that is the She-Hulk, but she don't want to be called She because all of a sudden now they're trying to make it like she sounds inferior and she could be Hulk too. That's stupid. 3 or 4 different Captain America stories. It's dumb. It's dumb. So why don't we go through the list, Chris, and just show what books were canceled.
Well, there's only a few on the one I have here.
Okay.
They're talking about.
I'm going to go to each one as you mentioned it. I'm going to go a little detail.
Right. They're talking about Moon Knight, Spider-Man 2099, Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, that I said flat out.
Yeah, Occupy Avengers.
That sucks. Totally.
And also,
USA.
This was a separate article. Ghost Rider.
Well, that totally sucked. I told you I wanted to pay somebody to get the book that I had. Remember? It was canceled. They put him on Shield. He was popular there for a moment. Then they decided to give him a book again. And guess what happened to the book? It got canceled again. Nobody wants a Ghost Rider that drives a car like Speed Racer. Nobody wants that. They want him on the motorcycle. They don't want him to look like Japanese animation. They want him to look like an actual skeleton Ghost Rider. Can we get that back? Sorcerers Supreme? You got like 12? I mean, is it... Oh, I wouldn't have to worry about the universe getting destroyed because there's not only just one, there's like 12 of them. No. It's not unique anymore. You can only have one Sorcerer Supreme. Cancel the book. No good. Hulks, Thors, Captain America, Spideys, stop. Stop. I heard that, now we got the War Thor, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just, he looks cool. Probably Odin. But enough is enough. So on one hand, they're going to, I guess, tease at restoring the Marvel Universe in the fall, in a storyline called Generations. And they're teasing about bringing Wolverine back to life and the Hulk back to life. But before that, we're going to have Hulkverine, which is a clone Weapon X or whatever program for Secret Empire. I just think that they should stop these big events, Chris. Like, how about for like a year or two, let's not have Civil War 3 or Secret Wars or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Calm down with these things. Let's just stop. A whole year without a big storyline, right? Give it a break. And then build up the characters to have an event. But it's got to make sense. I don't think we could ever have a Civil War anymore. I think it doesn't work that the superheroes could kill each other while the supervillains are going to take over the world. That doesn't work.
I got to tell you, I think we're going to be seeing an Infinity Gem story coming back pretty soon.
Yep, I agree.
I do.
And I was saying, I would think there'd be new gems. A life gem, bringing them back to life.
I agree. I think we maybe see 1 or 2 of the old ones. But I have a funny feeling because next year is Infinity War. I don't think they're going to do another Infinity storyline like that, but I think we're going to see the gems.
I think it's going to either be the Infinity Crown, maybe there'll be a crown instead of a gauntlet or something, and it's going to be 12 gems.
Who knows?
Because there was the most we've ever had was 7. Even though it was always 6, there was a 7th one that was destroyed from the old.
Well, there was a couple other ones.
In different universes, different ones, I think. Supposedly, every universe has the Infinity Gems. And that's the laws of the multiverse. Every universe has an Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity Gems that some universes have more than others, I guess. That's what they said, supposedly. So, you know, and then we just get these storylines. Like, I mean, you know, we're gonna have everybody come back together, but then they're gonna screw that up again. I mean, are they gonna do something that's gonna screw up the Marvel Universe? I just want my Marvel Universe restored. I'm sorry, you know, I'm gonna get some heat for this, but I want Thor to have the real hammer, and I don't want Jane Foster to have the hammer anymore. I just don't. I want. I mean, what I would do is with this whole thing with Steve Rogers, I can't see him being Captain America after this. As much as I would want to, somebody else will have to be Captain America because he just was this evil. So I would think he needs a break for a little bit or something.
Well, I think it's telling too that, you know, Chris Evans is potentially leaving and you know, or taking a break, and you know, maybe we're gonna see the regular Captain America not be Captain America anymore because of what's happening. And you know, it's kind of telling to me that those things are happening at the same time. Like, I know Steve Rogers is not based off of Chris Evans.
No, but Chris Evans does not want to do that storyline.
Yeah.
He does not
They're not going to do that in the movies. They're not going to do it in the movies.
Thank God.
Because that would be ludicrous and nobody would get it.
And you know what the funny thing was? They did that when they had the Captain America statue, which was a slap in the effing face. Remember, like, he does a storyline, and like a week later, we have a Captain America statue in Brooklyn that they built. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? That's like, it's like bad timing. I just think there should be one Hulk, one She-Hulk, and that kid that's the Hulk should not be the Hulk anymore. I think that Hawkeye is a man, and I don't agree with Bendis making him a killer because he never wanted to kill in the comics ever. In fact, he divorced his wife when she killed the Phantom Rider. So I don't want to see anybody else other than Tony Stark as Iron Man. I don't want to see Doctor Doom joining the Avengers because to me that would not make any sense, being that he basically put them through hell in Secret Wars. So now you're making your greatest villain an Avenger would make no sense to me. But then again, that's Marvel. I don't know what they do. But, yeah, no Riri Williams, 15-year-old woman being Iron Man, no. What else? No multiple Hulk books, no multiple Sorcerer Supreme books, no multiple Hammers, no... Basically, let's just try to get order in the Marvel Universe. We could do some cool storylines, but we don't have to make it where it's ridiculous, you know? So, anything to add?
I can't think of anything, you know, anything else to say. I think we've covered all of this already.
I know. That's the sad thing. All right, so let's get out of here. And I don't know if we'll do another one. We'll see. All right, take care. Bye for now.